You know, they say silence is golden, but I prefer podcasts. Jibber Jabber podcast to be precise.
Jibber Jabber? That ain't no podcast. That's just two jackrabbits bumping guns about nothing.
You just made the biggest mistake of your life, partner.
Oh yeah? You gonna cry? Or you gonna whine like what they did about the cinematic framing nonsense?
No, I'm gonna settle this the way a man should. With a duel.
You really gonna draw me over a podcast, sir?
I've drawn over worse. I once shot a man for slandering the commentary track over the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Fine. Let's dance, cowboy. I should have seen this coming.
Now that that's dealt with, it's now time for A Fistful of Dollars movie review Jibber Jabber podcast edition, brought to you by Arrow Video. I see you on the flip side. Get down, partner. Get down. Thanks, man. Thank you.
But that's the best thing I've ever seen. Make that in a feature. A on fully smash.
On fully smash. I thought with our triumphant return this week, I thought it needed a bit of an intro. So today I was like, you know what? If we could date in 3 hours, that's like 2 hours to film and an hour to edit. It turns out it was like half an hour to film all of it, and then edit it like an hour and a half.
I've got a feeling it might have taken slightly longer than half an hour to film if you'd filmed your last shot again, because I know you accidentally dropped that cigar at your mouth and just fucking left it in.
I knew you'd get that.
You kept the shape of your cigar mouth.
No,
man. That was wonderful, man. I want to see that as a feature.
Thanks. Oh, I think it worked better as a shot.
He's bullet hole moved.
Wait, I've always said that I really wanted to make like a really bad film. However, I felt that was too good to be really bad, but no bad enough to be really good. You know what I mean? But it was a laugh.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Mate,
I was superb, man. I loved that.
I loved it. Thanks. I wrote it in like 5 minutes. I said this is how it went. I went, Lucas, can we watch that film last night? Want to make a spoof? And he's like this. He's like, I goes, I've just sent you the script. Go for it. Literally, like, there's not a lot of lines. He's like, I says, what do you think? He's all right. I says, see if you think it's just all right. Like, let's just no bother then, eh? He's like, let's do it. I was like, right, cool. I says, we'll just see how it goes. I'm going to fire up the green screen. Got it up in the living room. Moved all the other kids right out of the way. Put them outside. And then
it's time
I was like, right. I was like, right, so we're just going to go for it. Just see how it turns out. And it turned out as good as it did, and I enjoyed it. It was fun. And you know what? I could have really ketchuped and made him have a prop, but I thought, I'm no wasting his shirt, and two, I think it'd be better like if it's actually just motion tracked. Do you know what I mean? Like,
When he put his hand up to hold it and it just moved up to me.
I know. Thing is, right? I'm like trying to direct him. I'm like, I need you to keep this part here completely free. So what does he do? He puts 2 things over it. So I'm like, oh, thanks. Right? He's got a gun on one side and a belt on the other. Right? I says, okay. And at the time, I was like, when you get shot, like register and then put your hands up. But none of it worked. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just move it all. It's like, but it was fun. Matthew said,
for me, it was the later.
I'll see you on the flip side. It makes it. It fucking makes it. Matthew says, howdy gents, long time no see. Well, we're gonna get into that. The first weekend was Mother's Day, so there was plans on Mother's Day, as there always is. So we didn't date that night. We just skipped out that one. And then, tragically, well, not tragically, but sadly, Buster popped his scrugs. Buster Scruggs. I thought it was only fetching for the type of episode. J Mac's dog, of which he told me was 14. I felt like a right clown after putting his card out to him saying 14. 15 years old.
But the thing is, you still won. You still
Did I?
won because we had him. We got him when he was about 1.
Right.
Actually, when I read that, I thought I must have told Kev that at some point.
You did.
No,
You
you've just
did.
fucked up.
No, you said 14 years.
No, he was 15. He was 15, but we got him when he was about a year old.
Because when I say to you, how long have you had him? You said, 14 years. So I thought, oh, okay. And then I wrote it. I wrote the card out and sent it, right? Online and all that. And then Mel put something on Facebook being like 15 years. And I'm like, J Mac, you bastard.
Man, that would have been a quality fucking way to get you.
I know.
If only I'd meant it. But no, we had him for 14 years. Like,
there's me
like
writing a fucking heartfelt poem with 14 in it and everything. I'm like, I'm a fucking clown.
She texted me when, like, obviously she opened it. She's like, just got a really, really nice card off of Kevin. And I was
always feel quite bad.
Bastard showed me up.
That's J-Mac. That's why. That was why. I'm joking. Nah, I felt really bad and I couldn't even reach through the screen and give you his fucking virtual hugs. So I thought, what do you do? There's nothing you can do, unfortunately, but
it was quite crap. I mean, it was literally, we found out on the Thursday that he was going to go on the Friday, and that was it wasn't a lot of processing time, but then you start questioning, did we do the right thing and all that. So,
of course you did, man. But 15 years is good for a dog.
Aye, especially like a dog of his breed. It's really no
for
bad.
Sure.
And he's been quite good up until like the last year. I would say you'd seen the kind of gradual getting oldiness of him, but just over the past couple of months, he was really losing weight, and he wasn't eating right, and he was shitting in the house and stuff. But like stuff's going on. So.
We shame, man.
Yeah.
So you guys went away last weekend, and I thought, right, that gives us a 2-week gap. So when we come back, we'll be firing on all cylinders.
Oh man, I don't even have a toy gun. What kind of 40-year-old dweeb am I? I don't even have a toy gun.
I know, date right, mate. The Theory Lad, sup lads, hello Theory Lad. How we doing? Better now that all you guys are filling in the comment section and tuning in for tonight's episode. Reign of Horror, my man. What's up, crew? Excellent, mate. Well, that's us just back. I hope you all caught the wee short film at the start they produced with wee Lucas. It was fucking funny. Lee's greeting about a dog. Fucking hell, Lee, man. I'm joking. I feel you. The handful of times I met Buster, he was sound wee dog. He just chilled. It's kind of like an average family. I do distinctly remember you going like that. Can't wait till this one goes. And Mel turning to you and going, you'll be fucking gone before the dog goes.
The thing is, I was always quite, like, it was really my wife's dog. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's how things were.
All dogs are wife's dogs, mate.
But, like, I was quite nonchalant about, like, how...
That's what it is, mate. I'm like that. But I'm saying that all the time.
But when it happened, it was like, oh no, this stings, man.
Of course. It's a member of the family. Eh? By the way, I wondered to myself, what we would be like back in the Western days, and I got a visual illustration. Look at that.
Wait a minute, how come I look like Ben Affleck?
By the way, can you spot down at the bottom who's getting eaten by wolves?
Who is that?
That's Nards. Look at his t-shirt. The Wolfman's got nards.
Oh,
These
man.
wolves have got nards. They've got him by the nards. Nards getting eaten at the bottom.
We need to karaoke this thing, mate, and sing it.
It's getting scrammed at the bottom, man.
Wolfman got scranned. Oh man, why are you so rude to him?
I'm a hell. I'm always sound. Look at it, it's getting scrammed.
Oh man, you should remix the soundtrack for A Fistful of Dollars. Every time it goes, put that in.
That's next week's one. By the way, quite glad we got Fistful of Dollars, which is tonight's episode. Fistful of Dollars, which was what was released in 1964. Holy shimaloli! And by the way, let's just take a minute.
61 years ago.
I know, right?
It's
But
mental.
can we take a minute and just admire how handsome Clint Eastwood was?
Oh, aye.
Hey,
That's a
and
good-looking cat.
his son looks exactly like him as well.
I know. It's like it's one of the ones where you can go. Can you guess whose son that is? Straight away, you'd be like, it's Clint Eastwood.
Aye.
Do you think young Clint Eastwood, looks a bit like Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Taller.
I was definitely taller. I think Jean-Claude Van Damme's shorter than me, and that's saying something. Although, if my head was a normal size, I'd be about 5'4". In fact, can you bring up that picture of us with Wolfman getting eaten again? Look at the size of that bunce.
And the thing is, as well, I think my character's actually knelt down a wee bit, isn't it?
It's kind of like I got kicked off the set of Snow White for being an actual dwarf and just went to the Western next door.
Nah, don't be silly, man. I thought that was quite a cool thing. Do you know what it says on the shop to the left? Look.
Adults, we've got Genesis Spirits.
And down in the bottom right.
Wait, is this AI generated?
Uh-huh.
That's fucking awesome. It's cool.
It's don't get me wrong, I tampered with it to an extent. But the bit, if you look in the window, you can't actually see it fully, but it says putting the man in Matthew Man.
Oh man, you have had a lot of spare time today. That's not like you.
No, mate, I've no. Do you know what it is? I've just been. Most of it was all last night, bar the filming. Just me, like getting to a certain time and just not being able to switch off. You know what I mean? You do everything for everybody else during the day. Then they all go to bed, and you're like, for whatever energy I have left, I shall make it happen. Like a fucking. You know how I look like when I do that? Ken the Vishwhackers and the old WWF.
No, sorry.
Oh, really? Oh, someone will remember them. But so we're going back to 1964, right? Which feels like I was never alive, but it seems like a lifetime ago, right?
For the record, neither was I.
You should, aye. Sure.
Pretty certain, aye.
Aye, so
60 years ago was only 20 years before I was born, which is quite freaky.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Aye, I'm getting old.
That's crazy. Yeah,
You're getting old, John. You're getting old.
You're gonna die. You're gonna die, mate. So this film, Sergio Leone, who he's the guy that made Ben-Hur XXX edition. Wrong. So this guy basically was the dawn of spaghetti westerns. He created these Italian. I'm always like, why did they call them spaghetti westerns? Italian. Ah, right.
I mean, it's a bit of a stupid name for them, eh?
Oh,
like, it's quite it's almost derogatory. It's like they were like, don't watch that. It's a fucking spaghetti western. It's on fucking Italian.
I know. I'm French.
It's on Japanese. Every Japanese film you watch, you're like, it's all in Italian. So the other way about it as well.
I know.
I'm glad they shot all these westerns in Japan.
I know. Fucking what? Wonton westerns.
That's Chinese.
Wonton westerns. That's my aim.
Man.
My aim is to make
it's a sashimi western.
Sushi western. Wait, that's my aim, is to make a Western, but just full of Chinese folk.
That's an Eastern.
An Eastern. Wonton Eastern. I'm gonna make mine Mafia Man.
Oh man, I was going to say something. They would get us in a
So
lot of
it's
trouble.
hard. So it's hard.
Did it involve the word dollars?
Oh, get us fucking mate. We're only just back. I'll get kicked off.
Oof.
That would be funny. What was I going to say? Oh no, I've lost it now.
You lost that a long time ago.
Right. So here's the thing. Oh, that's true. See this film. I'm like, okay, I can watch the French version. I can watch the English version. Yeah. Right.
Uh-huh.
And obviously going with the English version. And I'm looking at Clint Eastwood's mouth, and he's not dubbed in any stretch. He's saying what he's saying in the way that he always says it. But some of the other boys are like, you're going to get killed. You stay around here. And I'm like, so I know that Sergio Leone, he didn't speak English. So how he would communicate to Clint Eastwood was the crew and the cast would basically translate. So am I right in thinking that they're speaking to him in French and whatnot, and he's like just speaking to them in his tongue in English, and they're just making it up, but they both know the story. That's interesting, isn't it? That's like us doing a podcast right now, where I'm like speaking like this, and you're speaking on Italian, and we're just like, because we know the script, we're just completely getting on with it.
It's like that one person at work who, like, it doesn't matter how much they talk to you, you're just like, I'm not interested so much. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Aye, all right. Really? Fucking hell.
Nothing else for it, mate.
Just gave my game away.
Nothing else for it, aye. Nothing else for it. Nah.
I hate that shit. Cheap at half the price.
Been up too much? Nah, mate. Just living the dream. You too. Aye.
I just put a half brick that's the other half of a half brick I found on a bit of spare grunt when I was 18.
Craziest of times, man. Aye, fucking. So is that how that was filmed then, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a good chance that kind of most of, if not all of the sound was dubbed in, including Clint Eastwood's just redoing his lines.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of, I mean, I know that some of the Bruce Lee films were done like that as well. I know for a fact that Way of the Dragon was, like, there was no sound recorded on set, basically. Everything was added in later. So that was later. That was 1972, I think. And this was 1967. And again, I mean, they filmed a fair bit of Way of the Dragon in Italy as well. Maybe it's the Italian way.
I have them on Italian way. I've got all them on Blu-ray. We need to go back through them at some point.
Oh, I would love that. I know
That'd be pretty
everything.
good. I mind finding it. Was that in a charity shop or something? And it was just like Bruce Lee, 4 different films on one Blu-ray. I'm like, no bad.
One Blu-ray.
It was in one case, like one Blu-ray,
Right.
and it has like 3 of the films.
Actually, I think the only Blu-ray Bruce Lee one I've got is actually my arguably least favourite, which is Enter the Dragon. I prefer the Hong Kong ones. Enter the Dragon was too Western.
Fair play. Fair fucking play in that one. We'll need to look at. I do like taking a wee forward to the past. You know what I mean? Bringing it all back.
A wee forward to the past.
A wee forward to the past. We bring it forward, just like what Arrow have done here with redoing this film, bringing it up to modern day expectations. Arrowplayer.com, you can go there and find it, or sign up today for your 2-week free trial. J Mac, what can you buy with the same amount of money as it costs to get yourself a monthly subscription at Arrowplayer?
A rental on Prime Video.
Ain't that right?
Coffee.
Depends. You kind of get it. Was Costa shutting? Did you say?
I don't know. It was just, I don't even know if it's true. I think
Costa's pish, so it doesn't matter, mate. No wonder it's shutting. Their coffee's stinking.
Well, It's a good endorsement. Next week, the CEO of Costa.
As always. Yeah, I would like to chat to that person. Hit us up,
Aye.
hit us up. Aye, man. So, this is the time. So, John Wayne and Clint Eastwood are the two meccas of Western heroes, right? They're the Elvis and the... Who was Elvis's counterpart at the time when Elvis was it? You either liked Elvis or you liked...
Cliff Richard.
Aye.
Nick
Aye.
Rivers.
Who?
Nick Rivers.
All right.
Definitely science. Nick Rivers was Val Kilmer's character in fucking... What's the name of that thing? Top Secret.
Ah.
And
Sounds
he's very
mental,
much Elvis in it.
Aye.
But I don't really think Elvis had a counterpart. I don't think he had anybody else.
Like Beatles,
in
Rolling
his
Stones,
space.
Metallica, Megadeth.
Aye. Who would Elvis have been? Johnny Cash? I don't know.
That's a good shout. It would have been Johnny Cash. Oh, that's a tough one. I'm probably more on the Johnny Cash side, by the way.
Ooh, that's a tough one. There's a debate for
It's
another
tough,
day.
eh? I know. I just purely because of who I am. I love Johnny Cash, so I'm going to go with Johnny Cash. My name's Johnny Cash. It's Johnny Cash. Song by Johnny Cash.
A fistful of Johnny Cash.
Fistful of Cash. Dala. Aye. By the way, the estimated budget for this was only 200k, but at that time in the 64, that's probably. Shall we find out? What was 200k value in 1964?
I'm going to take a guess.
Okay.
8 million.
Updated equivalent power purchase of 2.5 million.
Oh well.
So 2.5 million essentially back in the days of the pesos and all that. And
Pesos still exist.
it's all for you, darling. It's all for you. Back in the days.
I know you're still laughing. You never meant that, did you?
No.
Oh,
Really?
Let me just
Really?
put in a lot of effort to keep my face straight.
Really? So that would have cost about 200,000 euros for them. For them to make back in the day.
It's about 48 million yuan.
Do you know what I loved about it? Aside from its like very simplistic story, right, was the fact that it was set literally in just one wee area.
Aye, low budget. That's the thing.
Which, by the way, looked like no much of a town. Like, what else was going on around there? Because there was like 5 buildings, right, and one was occupied by one. What were they called? The
Baxters.
The Baxters, and the other was who?
The Campbells. I can't remember.
Campbell. Was it no Robertsons?
I doubt it. Because what was it, Ramos or something?
Baxters and Rojo?
Rojo. Fucking hell, man. Oh, man. Your pronunciation is always comedy gold.
Rojos.
The backstairs and the Rojos.
Rojos. Rojos. And you have to roll the R's. Rojos. Aye. Yeah, the Rojos.
Rojos. Royo pollo paella. Spanish.
What a pack of Roros. The Blue Raband or a Roro. The Rojos. Aye. So he basically shows up to town, big Clinty boy, who, by the way, is the man with no name. His name's fucking Joe.
The thing is, actually, that crossed my mind as I was watching. I was like, right, his name's Joe. I thought he was the man with no name. So then I checked the next one, and I'm sure his name's like Butcho or something. and then I can't remember. And then in the next one, his name's Blondie. Not once is he the man with no name. But this
Oh,
is
fucking Joe. Joe.
yeah.
I mean, I think
Dunno.
this is just lore that's added to it. In the film, at no point is he called Joe. Do they
No,
just
he
call him
is.
the American? No, who calls him Joe? At what point?
Quite a few people like refer to him and try and get his attention by calling him Joe. It's
They
quite.
call him the
I don't think
American.
it's. I don't think it's often. A lot of time it's the Americano or Gringo or whatever. But there are at least 2 or 3 times where they call him Joe.
I don't
So his
recall
name.
hearing
His name is actually Joe.
Blondie.
My uncle John, he had a black dog called Blondie.
Probably a big Eastwood fan. Here, I remember by
No, I think what it was is they were maybe getting to the point that you couldn't really call a dog Blackie anymore. So it went with Blondie.
or a person either.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Joe.
Or he just thought it was funny. A black dog called Blondie.
That or it was his favourite type of cake. Fistful of Dollars was a 1964 Italian spaghetti western directed by Sergio Leone and starring Clint Eastwood, his first major film role. It is an unofficial remake of Akira Kurosawa's 1961 film Yohimo.
Like that, man.
And the first in what became known as the Dollar Trilogy, followed by a few dollars more, and then The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly in 1966. So, the plot summary: Clint Eastwood plays a mysterious gunslinger named Joe. They are referred to as the man with no name.
It still makes no sense. He's a gunslinger named Joe. Later referred to as the man with no name.
No name. It's like, just tell him my name's Joe.
I know. So what's your name, mate? Joe. Fucking tell me your name.
Joe. This guy's saying he's not got a name.
I said Joe.
So the man with no name.
Mate, if you don't want to tell me, just then tell me. Fuck off.
All right, I have no name. You should have said it was Joe. Right, so it arrives in the Mexican border in the town of San Miguel. We've all been there.
Many a time. What's that you're drinking, by the way? Is that Guinness or something? Or is that some kind of stout? It is Guinness. Nice.
It is my friend. It is my friend. He pits 2 rival families, the Baxters and the Rojos, against each other for his own gain.
Actually, you managed to say Akira Kurosawa. You couldn't get Rojo right.
It's because I remembered it. Like I've heard that like throughout like life because of these films, bringing justice to the lawless town. Now, Lucas, right, is an actual mad fucking western. Like when I said to him the day, "Here, man, we're gonna make a wee western clip," right? He was like, right. He came down and he had like 4 hats, full get-ups, every different type of cast iron gun. He is like beyond in love with the genre, right?
Where did that come from?
Well, when we were kids, when he was a kid, which is
That'd be
still
weird
is.
if you were kids at the same time.
I know, right? Yeah, mate. But I know when he was a lot younger, I introduced him to Red Dead Redemption 2 when it came out, and he played it and was like, "Oh, this is amazing!" and he got immersed. And I also watched a ton of John Wayne with him. Right, he you know that way like where a kid just shows interest in something. So he started really showing interest in it, and it never left him. Then he started listening to music that was a band called the Dead South. You ever heard of them? Actually, you would love them.
No.
You would love them.
No,
Guys, banjo player and all that. They're very good. You'll love them. Check them out, right? Anybody that's watching, check them out. I'll send you a link to some of their best songs, right? Dead South, they're proper like banjo and fucking Western style music.
Is it like bluegrass, or is it just Western?
It's more mainstream than bluegrass. It's not bluegrass. Okay. The guy sings. You'll see. It's imagine what Western music would be like if it came out today. Exactly that.
Okay.
So folk that are basically paying homage but adding their own like up to date spin on it. Right. So when I'm watching it, Lucas is hitting me with all these facts, right? Because he knows everything about that time period, and he sits and reads books. I've got him books on all different gunslinger stories and all this, right? It's something that's his jam. Wrestling's my thing. That's his thing. And he's like, "Oh, did you know this, Kev? That at that time, during the Mexican Revolution, there was actually many towns that had no law, so there was no laws anywhere." And I'm watching this, going, "We fuckers right." Like, look, there's no law, right? So I'm getting a fucking commentary as I'm watching it. So when he strolls in, and it's like, well, there's two families, which I was surprised they hadn't done each other in at that point already.
What I thought was funny, like you say, there's no law, but there is a sheriff, but he's only the sheriff because he appointed himself sheriff.
Aye.
But
And
it's funny because he comes out after Joe kills 4 guys. He's like, "You're going to hang for that," and he's like, "No, I'm no," and walks away, and that's the end of that.
I know. I know. I think the attention to detail was excellent as well. The minute that they started shooting, they're like this, shooting down at his mule, and his mule runs away, and he kind of just hangs there. I thought,
Did you laugh when they did it to the wee boy at the start?
I thought that's what you're
Fuck off, Jesus! He's like,
Jesus, fucking Jesus.
His name was Jesus, but
I know that's Jesus.
I know. I know, mate.
Do you know what's funny? Right, quick sidebar. Do you know what's funny? This morning I'm getting my daughter Rosie, 5-year-old, getting her ready for a birthday party, and
it's actually pronounced Jose.
That's with a G, actually. But get this right. So I'm sitting talking to Rosie as I'm brushing her hair, and she was saying something about Jesus, right? And I'm like, "Oh, that's interesting," because I watched a film last night where Jesus was said, and I said to her, she was like, "Dad, was Jesus the first person alive?" I was like, "No, really." I says, "And his name's no actually Jesus." I says, "It's Jesus, right?" And she's like, "No, it's not." I says, "It is." I says, "But," I says, "our civilization has changed it to be Jesus." I says, "It's actually Jesus." She went, "Alexa, can you pronounce J-E-S-U-S? Alexa goes, J-E-S-U-S spells Jesus. And she went, "See?" How the fuck am I supposed to argue with that, man? Alexa's on her side. Can't I mean? What am I meant to do with that?
Well, see, I think that Jesus was how it was pronounced, but it was the Spanish changed it to Jesus.
You think so?
I think so. Yep.
Who knows, man?
I have been known to be wrong in the past. You know, it does happen from time to time. But
really interesting. I've never. No, I'm joking. But at that, mate, that's where I was like, here, you need to learn when to walk away from an argument. I thought Alexa's got her back here. She's not going to believe me now anyway.
You're like, "Alexa, fuck you."
Exactly. Not
it's
again, Kevin.
Pronounced fuck you.
Alexa.
Alexa.
So that boy was getting bullied, which I thought was right out of order. I thought, oh, here we go. And even since then, Lucas was like, "Mommy." like he's took the piss at the wee boy. I thought that's quite out of order. The dad done nothing about it, man.
He was a bit Flash Gordon about it all, wasn't he?
I done fuck all the whole fucking time. But we'll still call him a hero, can't I mean? I mind when we had Lisa on, and she'd done the documentary on Flash, Life After Flash, and I'm like, "Here, you mind Flash done fuck all?" She was like, "Hey, I had the hair and all that." It's like, didn't he?
Didn't he?
He done fuck all that whole film, but get battered. And as well, by the way, Clint Eastwood's character, the man with no name, Joe, right? He's John Wick.
He's John Wick.
Well, he's the first John Wick. I mean, at first, really, they couldn't get him until like he walked in on a gun pointed at his face. And by the way, I was pissing myself. It's like he's getting he's the scene where he's getting leathered. And you guys like
Esteban sitting fishing himself, and I'm like, "That's Kev. Kev's going to be howling at that because it's him."
That was so true.
I was going to send you a clip of it and say it's you, man. I didn't.
Totally is, Well, mate, how fair did that bit look where they stood on Clint's hand?
I know.
I was like, oh.
I was like, that looks a bit painful. I'm starting to wonder if he actually put a cigar out in his hand as well. And even when mind you, with the old fellas hanging there by his hands, he's just hanging there by his hands. Like there's no harness. There's nothing. That's just some 60-odd-year-old guy. Right, mate, just a few minutes, it'll be fine. Action. He's like, fuck's sake. That's nuts.
I remember speaking to James Marster from Buffy, Spike.
Yep.
And he talked about how he was on set, and there's an episode, all the Buffy fans will remember this, where he's hanging up high in the air. And he remembers Sarah Michelle Gellar calling, can we cut for a bit because I need to go and sort out my makeup. I feel uncomfortable. And he was hanging there yeah, you're uncomfortable, yeah? No worries, I'll wait. I'll just wait to finish the scene. Because they weren't going to bring him down because it was so much getting him up there that they were like, we'll just kind of wait there. So he was hanging there. Apparently she was quite a diva on set. Who knows? But
I'm shocked at that.
That's what's been said.
Actually, funnily enough, there was a similar story with Spider-Man.
Aye.
Tom Holland, I think his brother was on set one day, and Tom Holland was starting to complain a wee bit about being hanging up.
Sorry, what you mean is the new Spider-Man. You don't mean actual Spider-Man. There's me thinking you're talking about actual Spider-Man. Okay, so the new Spider-Man, yeah.
Yes. And so he's kind of complaining a wee bit. I think it's his own words. He was like, I was getting a bit cranky, and that my brother was on set, and he was taking the piss out of me for being a whiny bitch. He's like, so at the scene where it's all the folk dressed as the Avengers robbing the bank.
Mm-hmm.
He made sure that his brother was in that scene and made sure he was left hanging upside down for ages, just to get back at him for ripping the piss. Just a wee sidebar. A story about Marvel for me. How?
Wow, mate, been gone too long. Been gone far too long. Mm-hmm. I think Clint Eastwood's presence in these films are actually really good. By the way, I think he has none but presence. I
have to agree with Biff. I have to agree with Biff Tannen on this one. Did you notice that?
What?
This is the film that Biff and all his women are watching.
Jacuzzi
in Back to the Future 2.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Bulletproof vest. The guy is brilliant.
Bulletproof vest. I was like, what if they shot him in the face though? It's some Dumb and Dumber shit right there, right?
What if he shot me in the face?
Well, that was a chance we were willing to take. I was like,
Henry, you're alive. You're a horrible shot.
I mean, I imagine at that time, 64, maybe they haven't seen a lot of bulletproof vests because they were so shocked, guy won't die because he keeps going for the heart.
Oh, I wouldn't imagine they were commonplace back then. I don't think Kevlar had been invented yet. But the thing is, I was, as cool as that scene was, I was like, surely after the second or third one, he'd be like, he's fucking got something on his chest.
I'm going to shoot him in the face.
And he keeps telling him, go for the heart. Moan then, but just here. Moan.
Yeah.
Right there, man.
Did you notice?
No, here. No. Get that fucking gun down. Just in there.
Did you not notice as well? See the in the scene where the JoJos, or was it the JoJos? No, it was the others, the Baxters,
Campbells,
the Campbells. They open up the wee stagecoach and it's a turret gun, and everybody's getting shot. Right, two issues. Right, one,
I wonder what
nobody's actually getting shot because I don't see any bullet holes or any blood. Yeah.
There's no use of squibs or even wee pops. There's nothing.
Nothing. Even I made an attempt at the start. Even I made an attempt.
Can you play that again at the end because it was funny as fuck?
I shall. Kevio Leone. Did you like that? Kevio
on foot snatch. I mean, the Kevio Leone made me smile. A horn for his snatch set me right off. Every time one of you turn your head,
a horn for a snatch. I was like, so what could a parody? Was that A Fistful of Dollars, a handful of snatch? Because essentially that's what he's doing is giving me cheek about the podcast. so he gets
Aye.
shot for his trouble. So it's a hand for a snash. Stop keen a snash. What's that?
You look like a proper meth head there. Do that again.
Not here
Anyway,
for your amusement.
What time are we at? 40 minutes 20. Right, okay. Moving on.
My friend, I have. If we talk about timestamps here, want to talk about timestamps, right? Because the amount of time, within the time it's taken me to say what I talk about timestamps, I've already found and uploaded a timestamp of something I've got to you.
Oh, good.
You know that? That's fast, eh?
Aye, I look forward to this.
I mean, it's right there.
I like children. Do not.
When I talk about timestamps, mate, you're talking to this timestamp king.
For context, I was doing a Falcor impression.
I like children. Do not sound clip that.
Can't whack it. Aye, so that was my first issue, was the fact that there was nobody getting shot, right? My second issue was so many people. So here he is. They're all running away holding guns. What if, while all of them are getting shot, we don't run, we just go and kill the one guy on the turret?
Aye, I mean, running away from a gun like that, you're probably not going to get far. So you might as well stand and fight.
You might as well shoot. Not
Yeah.
one person done it, so they all deserve to die.
Do you notice the one guy that got shot and then for some reason held his head? Ah, and then fell. I've never seen somebody get shot in the head and go, oh, you fucker.
Or the guy that gets up and is like, I'm just going to peg it. And the guy's like, pass me your wee rifle. Down he goes.
Aye. But it was good, man. Like, although there was no blood in that, and like some of the dying was really, really hammy. You could tell that a lot of the guys were like, they were horse masters, but they'd never done a film before because there was no acting in their face when they were going down. They were just like, right, come on, horsey. Some of that going on. I felt sorry for the horses though.
Aye, well, so did Clint Eastwood at the start. You know, my mule, you don't like you very much, but it's okay because you're going to apologize.
So I think if you apologise, he'll be okay with you.
Which
I like
you
the way he
will.
gets off the horse at that point. The horse is bolting. He's like, I'll just grab onto this.
I know, I'm just going to stay there. Goes in and gets himself fed and watered. He's like, I can't pay you, man.
There are certain things about the film that haven't aged very well. That, for one thing, like just the complete lack. The only blood you ever see is on people's faces or coming out their mouths. There's never anything really on the bodies, apart from the guy that gets the Indiana Jones death towards the end. Big fucking barrel. I had a wee chuckle at that.
That was quite funny.
It was a bit Austin Powers as well. Like,
I know.
fucking move.
I know.
But no, it was good fun, and I think it's actually the first time I could, like, because most of the Clint Eastwood films I've seen have been when he's been older, so I've never really seen him getting a proper doing before. And he actually got his arse handed to him in that.
I did, but did it just not get battered in Gran Torino?
I don't know. I don't think I watched that. I
Did
started
you
it,
watch
but
Gran Torino?
it was pissing me off.
Mate, can I just say one? I'm going to say a line from it, right? And
Get off my lawn.
no. Technically, right? It comes.
Be
from
careful about the line you pick because there's a lot of stuff in that doesn't fly.
I would just like to say that this is a reenactment, and the views are not mine. They're of Clint Eastwood's character. Okay, you see, guy's getting battered on his garden. Clint Eastwood comes out and he's like, "You want to get off my lawn?" And they're like, "Oh, fuck off," and all that. A guy comes up to Clint. He's like, "Thank you so much for helping me." He goes, "I didn't do that to help you. I just wanted a couple jabby kooks off my lawn."
Aye. Moving on swiftly.
Funny's funny, eh, Mickey Rourke?
Aye. I mean, I haven't really seen the stuff he's been saying, but I know he's not been the most PC person on the planet.
Hey, my wife says to me, right? This is how I knew of it. She goes, Mickey Rourke's, everybody's up my arms about Mickey Rourke on Celebrity Big Brother. I was like, why? Oh, because apparently he said he wanted to vote for the gay one. I thought that's not bad. I thought, oh, she's like, aye, what's that all about? That's not even that bad. And I'm like, all right. So I thought I'll go and watch it. It's like, Lauren, are you sure that's what he said? I sent her a link. I goes, no, he was at the order, man. He was right at the order.
Again, you have to remember the guy's 72-year-old.
Aye, but I would, if it was me, and say he was putting some shade towards me, one, I'd probably just laugh and then start ripping him about, like, here, were you in the House of Wax? Were you used as a fucking one of the things? Because you can see, you know what I mean? I'd give it back. And failing that, I'd be like, right, Mickey.
Last time I seen a face like yours, I was practicing CPR, you prick.
Right? But I'd like, yo, Mickey, no into this, unless you actually want to fight. Unless you actually want to fight, to which I'm probably going to whoop your ass, right? Because you're old as shit. Even in your prime, I'd still take you. That's what I'd say to him, though, nonetheless, because he can't prove it. But what I would say to him is, there's going to be issues if you didn't stop talking to me like that. You know what I mean? And I think that we last said Jojo, I think she handled herself quite well, and I think she was quite forgiving. So I don't think anybody should be being like, oh, she's just a snowflake or that.
But then he called Patsy Palmer Copper Top, which wasn't the nicest thing in the world either.
Ginger, Matt. He also said her cooking was shit while she was right there. He's like, the cooking in here is terrible. And it's like, yeah, we cook it ourselves. He's like, oh, we've been cooking it? He goes, well, Patsy has. Patsy's looking at him like that. She's just looking at him like that.
Aye. He's like, oh, he's being sarcastic. He's like, no, I'm not. Oh, an ass piece.
Oh, love it. Mickey Rourke, man. Mickey Rourke. Yeah. He would have been funny in this, Mickey Rourke. Here, Van Cleef is in the next one, and the one after that.
Yeah.
You a fan of Van Cleef?
Well, I've only ever seen one film with him in it, and it was The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, because I watched that first thinking that like, I watched it a few years ago thinking that was the first in the series. I was wrong.
Easy to it's easy to know, because like it's easy to not know that, because you grow up.
I get a feeling that they're all going to be their own stories anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Aye, so it's like you could watch them in any of them, eh? Well, get this right. My dad told me a story, right? When I told him, oh yeah, I'm covering this week, right? My dad told me a story, and I actually went with this because I said to Matthewman about how using AI now, I could probably replicate a lot of his style, which I can now, by the way, which is scary. Obviously not a genuine Matthewman, nowhere near as good, but definitely along the lines, right? And my dad told me a story about when he was a kid, that everybody used to be scared of their bus driver because he looked exactly like Van Cleef, right?
Right.
So he used to walk on and he would never say nothing, he would just go. And you would have to give him 10 pence to get on the bus, right? One day my dad lost his 10 pence and the bus rocked up, and he goes onto the bus and he's like, and he's terrified because this guy looks like Van Cleef, right? And he's like, oh, I swear I've no... And he's proper like, for mercy, I need to get on the bus. I'm really sorry, I lost it. I swear I've no spent it in that. And Van Cleef, without saying anything, goes, get on, right? Without saying it, just kind of gestures to get on. So I went and made it into a fucking poster. Look at this.
Is that what it was? 10 pence piece or deal with Van Cleef. I was looking at it, I didn't really question it. I was like, there must be something in this. It's got to be Scythe as well. I was like, there's something here, but I'll find it. And that's your dad with a 70s cut. What I like is the fact that you never made him a kid either.
Do you know what I put in for the prompt?
What?
Make him look like Bez for the Happy Mondays, but with an Osmond haircut.
He is a bit like Bez, isn't he?
My dad looks like Bez, by the way.
He does.
Right. I said, make him look like Bez for the Happy Mondays, but give him Donny Osmond haircut.
Oh,
that's
mate.
excellent, right?
Do make some of them with me in it. Like,
I I
No,
have.
no,
You want me to
but,
bring up the Simpsons one?
no, us. Just me. Just me. Make like something funny about me and make one.
Oh well, it takes a lot of time to perfect because I have to keep prompting it, and then it changes everything. Like, look at this one.
Aye, thanks for the weight on that one.
I never, mate. I just put a picture up of both of us, and it came out with that. I says, make sure they're wearing 2 t-shirts, Matthew Mins instead of Mo's, right? But it came up with that. I didn't prompt.
Did you misspell Matthew, man?
No, it's AI. Sometimes it looks like 2 H's together, but it's no.
The thing is, to give it credit, I actually do look like a proper movie podcaster in that one. Click on like and subscribe and follow.
There's another poster I could show you that it wouldn't get my dad in trouble, or will I do it offline? He's having a wee bit of beef with somebody, and I took a piss at it.
Oh, would it get us in trouble?
I might get him in trouble, but nobody in his work watches my podcast.
Oh, don't do it then, man, because it just takes one, or even for him to see it and go, "The fuck did you put that up for?" Somebody could see that at any time.
I'll tell you off air. But it's quite funny.
Okay.
So I'm getting better at these things. And how Matthew Man like does that poster look, mate?
It's no.
Matthew Man like, not Matthew Man, but Matthew Man like.
It's Matthew Man like. It's more like a classic painted poster as opposed to what Matthew Man does.
And the thing is, I gave it Matthew Man's art and says I want it in this style, and it was very close.
Right.
I actually feel like now when I've got an idea, instead of sending it to Matthew Man, I might just AI it and see what it looks like.
Lee Van Cleef, give him a 10-pence piece, or he'll kick you off in Creef.
And make your mock weef. Here, I kind of felt like she was going to be the love interest, but she wasn't.
Aye, she's very pretty though, very very pretty. And she's not my normal standard. Like she doesn't have the
my normal standard.
doesn't have the man jaw or anything, but she's still really pretty.
She's alive. Just kidding. I'm kidding. Here, I seen this film years ago because I went through a mad phase. I must have been about 19, 20. I went through a mad phase of just Clint Eastwood daft, watching almost every Clint Eastwood film I could. And I found that a lot of his stuff that he makes is just as good, if not better, than the films he's in.
Right.
You know the stuff here. Have you seen The Mule?
No.
Phenomenal. Get it watched, mate.
No. I've seen $1 Million Baby.
That's the one I've not seen because it looks pish.
It wasn't brilliant, to be honest. It was a bit boring.
All I know is that Scary Movie spoiled it for me. Just her neck snapped.
Aye. My brother-in-law spoiled it for me.
That the one where she gets her neck snapped, aye.
That's basically what he did. He walked in, I was still living at home at the time. That's a weird expression. I was still living at home. It's like, we always live at home. It's just your home changes. But I was still living at my mum and dad's. And I was watching it in the living room. And he came in. And I paused it when he walked in. And it just happened to have the title on the screen, $1 Million Baby. And he's like, $1 Million Baby. Good movie. How is it she dies again? Like, didn't know she died, mate. Thank you.
I take it we're talking about your old brother-in-law.
He's still my brother-in-law on paper.
Will always be, mucker. Will always be. Aye, so this film actually, by the way, was dealt quite the legal. Akira Kurosawa and Toho Studios sued for copyright infringement, citing its unauthorized adaptation of Yojimbo. The lawsuit was settled out of court. Kurosawa reportedly received 15% of the film's worldwide gross and executive distribution rights in Asia. Impact on cinema. Launch of spaghetti westerns. This was it. This was what made it all go down. So it launched, and the film popularized the Italian take on the western genre, leading to a surge of similar films, which I think even right up until they stopped making westerns. When was the last good western I saw was The Hateful Eight. Again,
Aye,
watched it with Lucas.
that's just a Tarantino film with a Western dress on, though, isn't it? Like the Django Unchained, you could argue the same thing. It's just Tarantino, but set in that time. I think I remember the Magnificent Seven remake being pretty decent. I'll need to revisit it. But I'm going to watch Tombstone again. Ever since Val Kilmer died, that's all I've been getting was clips for Tombstone and that, and I'm going to watch that again. He's got this really weird accent in it. It's an accent that died out a long time ago, but he learned how to do it. But there's one particular line where he's just like, well, I've got 2 guns, one for each of you. And his line delivery is just class. I'm your Huckleberry.
Unforgiven's a phenomenal one. I like that.
I like that as well.
True Grit.
True Grit. I've never seen the John Wayne one. I've only seen the Jeff Bridges one.
Nah, John Wayne one's the only one I've watched.
Jeff Bridges one was good. That was a Coen Brothers film. That was good, man.
Speaking of Coen's brothers, mate, fucking Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
How's my hair?
I be older day. I get in trouble all the way.
Mate, the Coen brothers again, the Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Fucking phenomenal.
Aye, I enjoyed that.
Loved it. My kids all watched that.
But this, like films like this, clearly kept inspiring throughout the years. You know what I mean? They kept elements of that all the way through westerns. Because I think before the spaghetti western, they were arguably, a lot of them were quite crap. They didn't like there was no inventiveness when it came to camera work and stuff like that. But I noticed in this, like there was some cool shots, like some cool zoom shots back when those were cool. And even like the boots walking right up to the camera and stuff like that. You hadn't really seen stuff like that before, as far as I know. So I was quite impressed with it. I think the scenes, and this goes through all spaghetti westerns, some of the scenes just going a bit too long with nothing really happening. It's like trying to build tension, but it builds the tension and then it dissipates again because it's went on for so fucking long. Yeah. And this isn't a particularly long film. I mean, some of the spaghetti westerns are really fucking long. Like Once Upon a Time in the West and stuff like that. They're all like 3 hours long, and they could be an hour and a half long if they just cut out all the tension building. This film wasn't too bad for it, but there was still some in there that kind of you lose interest a wee bit. In fact, a few times I skipped forward 10 seconds, like just to speed it along a wee bit.
I didn't. By the way, this film was shot without sound. All dialogue and effects were dubbed in post-production. Looking at the trivia, Sergio Leone was originally credited as Bob Robertson to appeal to English-speaking audience. It's Bob Robertson.
Robert Robertson, very inventive.
Mind, used to work with Rob Robertson.
He was Robert Robertson. Like he went by Robert.
Mind, everybody was all like scared of him and that, and then one day I fucking tell him I'd knock him the fuck out, and then he was nice to me as hell.
I seem to have a couple of times with supervisors in that place. Like Danny McGowan did that to what was the guy's name? Jim, wee Nyaffy prick. I can't even mind his second name. But he was such a wee knob. Hope he's watching. But it was like I think Dan had asked for a holiday and he'd said no, but there was no good reason not to give him it. Then eventually he just came back with his authorised holiday slip, and then he said something to like, "See, if you go off sick in the next 6 months, I'll kick fuck at you." Said that to Dan, and Dan just stood up and went, "If you want to talk to me like that, we'll go outside."
Aye, fucking right. I'd have slapped the cunt right there and then. By the way, speaking of Dan, hope sending all love and all that. Hope he's doing all right. That's shit. Aye, the poncho that Clint Eastwood wore is actually his own. He brought his own wardrobe and he made that. Basically,
I think it's just iconic. A rug.
Well, no, it's his actual poncho. He brought his own stuff. He actually brought his own. He brought his own gear.
Aye, it's like a bit Game of Thrones using the IKEA rugs as the fleeces and stuff like that. But it looks cool as fuck though. Like if you could get away with walking about like that, you would.
Mate, if I wanted to walk about like that, I fucking would.
Shite bag if you didn't.
He's a poncho. Where's the fuck? If I've got a poncho, mate, I'll fucking wear it. Mate.
No, he provides your own fucking wardrobe, mate. Piss off.
Fuck,
this is a low budget film.
Yeah, initially this was banned in some countries due to its violent content.
Oh, it was very over the top.
I know. Leone's unique use of silence and long stares was inspired by Japanese cinema.
But again, Bruce Lee used it as well. So it's filtered its way through everything. So,
Aye, its legacy, frequently cited among the greatest westerns ever made, inspired directors like Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez, and the Coen brothers. Naturally, the film, along with the entire Dollars trilogy, has been restored and re-released multiple times on DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K UHD, inducted into various must-see lists and film registries for cultural significance. I think any filmmaker should really check these bad boys out.
are we doing the other ones as
Style.
well, or is it just this one?
Just that one.
Ah,
That's
okay.
all they said to us today. But I'm up for doing the other ones anytime, mate.
I'm up for doing the Bruce Lees.
Aye, I'm up for doing that. I know.
Let's do the. In fact, it would make more sense to do these three and then.
Aye. Well, by the way, coming up next week, I don't know why I'm still here. But Mirror, which is a mad-ass comedy. Horror. I'm sure Matthewman's already watched it and he said he loved it, so I can't wait to get my eyes around it. But that should be fun. Mirror. I'm looking forward to that. That is a release coming on the Era store. You can go to the Arrow Player, www.arrow-player.com, and sign up for your 2-week free trial, and then it's $4.99 a month for you to enjoy everything that Arrow has to offer. Thank you, Arrow, for giving us this absolute delight. Here, we'll play this wee video again. We want it
100%.
again. A Hon for a Snash. Now this time with a wee bit of context. I produced this video as an intro to this podcast. It's been gone 2 weeks. I thought we'll come back with a smash. Wrote the script within 5 minutes. Went to storyboard and thought, fuck it, I'll just literally go with the description I've got. Filmed it out of sequence, filmed all Lucas's bits, and then I got him to stand behind the camera whilst I turned the camera face to me. And then I went, every time I ask you to hit record, and I do it. Then I edited it all together. Took me a wee while. And here we are. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, before we end the show, a hon for a snash.
Kev, get yourself unmuted and give us some commentary.
Here we go. Do you like the style? It's Kevio Leone. Kevio Leone. On to that snash. Love the whistling, eh? There he is.
One day you'll take the plastic off
they
that.
say silence
I'm going
is golden, but I prefer podcasts. Jibber Jabber podcast to be precise.
Jibber jabber. That ain't no podcast. That's just two jackrabbits bumping guns about nothing.
I told him to act like an absolute goon. That's mewing, by the way. It's a kid thing. That's what they're on to.
You just made the biggest mistake of your life, partner.
Oh yeah? You gonna cry? Or you gonna whine like what they did about the cinematic framing nonsense?
No, I'm gonna settle this the way a man
Yeah, how
should.
good the green screen, though, eh?
With a duel.
I know.
You really gonna draw me over a podcast, sir?
I've drawn over worse. I once shot a man for slandering the commentary track over the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Fine. Let's dance, cowboy.
Now that that's dealt with, it's now time for A Fistful of Dollars movie review Jibber Jabber podcast edition, brought to you by Arrow Video. I see you on the flip side.
What's also really funny, which I never noticed the first time, is that you've put the cigar mouth shape on the wrong side of your mouth. The cigar's here. Yeah. Hang on, I've just brought something up. a cigar here, and you're like, Although that might be right. That's like Penguin.
It's right. It has to be right because look, if that was open, the cigar would fall out.
I mean, you kept it after the cigar fell out. Right.
It only adds to its charm, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was good, man.
I felt like I had cinematic style.
I'll go with that.
Actually, I was really happy with it. It was a wee blast. I need to do more of that shit. We need to do some more shit. Some paranormal things coming up, I think, if you want to do it. I've been chatting to a few folk about a few things.
All right, cool.
So we'll see what it's what. Should be fun and games next week. Mirror, mirror.
Oh, sorry. Did you see Adam Mawson's TikTok with his light moving?
I barely ever go on TikTok, so no. But I will check it out.
I check it out, man. It's worth watching.
Oh man! Oh, Adam Mawson, by the way, he is his mom's son. Just what I say. You can go ahead and get his Blu-ray, very kindly given to us by Adam on Amazon and everywhere else. It's called The Moors. It's a short film, horror, beautiful Blu-ray. Go check it out if you can, because it's fucking class. If you need a link or whatever, drop us a message. We'll send you a wee direct link. But huge thanks to the guy himself, top guy, and it's a great wee film. And I'm going to go and watch his other one, which I've not watched yet, just purely based on timing. But Abduction, I want to go and check out as well.
Yeah.
All right. J Mac, it's been an absolute fucking blast. I'm looking forward to Mirror Mirror next week.
Yes.
And I'll catch you guys on the flippy, innit, you'd like to say?
Mirror, mirror on the wall, what's been the shittest film of all?
Crispy Scars.
I think it's Snow White now.
Probably.
Aye. We will review that. We will review that when we don't have to pay to see it.
100%. Probably next week or something. Take it easy, folks. Have a good one.
See ya.